Absolutely Talks, empowering talent for global careers. Brought to you by Absolutely French, presented by Armel Pervin.
Hello everyone, welcome for our Absolutely Talks today. Today we are speaking about the invisible key to successful global mobility, how human resources can better support expat spouses for a more inclusive mobility policy. So I'm happy to have you today with us. As we approach International Women's Day, we turn our focus to a pivotal yet often overlooked aspect of global mobility, the experiences of expat partners. So did you know that up to 45% of international assignments fail with family members' inability to adjust being a critical factor? The financial repercussions of such failures are very important. It costs really a lot, like between $200,000 to $1 million per failed assignment. So it's important now to show you that expat spouses are very important, and it's why we are here today, to make them more visible and to show you how you can help them more. I know a lot of companies already do a lot for them, but there are always improvement possible. So we are going to speak about that just now. Pardon, j'espère que ça va pas parler en même temps. J'ai juste appuyé sur un bouton. Sorry. And building on this foundation, we launched Absolutely Ahead just yesterday. Absolutely Ahead is a global training program designed to prepare expat partners for international mobility, because we work here in Paris with Absolutely French, and we welcome expat partners, and we help them integrate here with a specific training with French courses, but much more than that. And we realize that preparing expatriation is also very important to save more time. So to understand how things works before, so when you arrive, you are ready. And we use AI to help them and to show them how to use these tools. So today, I welcome 4 expat spouses. They have all different background, and it's why they are here today, because they have different stories. So it's interesting to listen to them. And I'm going to welcome Beatrice. So Beatrice, you are Italian.
Of course.
And could you please present yourself?
So, hi everybody. My name is Beatrice. I'm Italian, as Armella said, and I moved here in Paris 3 years ago because it was asked to my husband to cover a new position here in Paris. And
sorry.
No problem. Sorry. And I was saying that I moved here in Paris 3 years ago because it was asked to my husband, of course, to cover a new position. I used to work in a press office for a fashion brand, and now I work as a freelancer, or at least I'm trying to work as freelancer from here in Paris.
I know you mentioned to me that the services offered by your partner's company didn't seem relevant to you. Could you explain why?
So I have to start by saying that the company of my husband put in act several initiatives to support the partner expatriate, the partner in general. First of all, a basic language course. I want to underline the word basic in my experience, because a basic language level doesn't help you to communicate or to interact effectively. You can imagine to find a job. So this is the first thing. There are other initiatives like a budget if you want to invest in your education. So the company of my husband, for example, gives you a budget if you want to restart or start your studies in an academic institution. This is remarkable from my point of view, but it's strictly connected with your level of language. So it's something that probably you have the possibility to start later your arrival. Why I say this initiative that don't meet my expectation, just because it wasn't what I needed when I arrived. So when I arrived, the first thing that I needed was a network, to find a network of people that were facing with the same problem I have. People that could help me to solve the ordinary life problems, but also people that helps me to find a community. And a community doesn't mean only to socialize, but to have contact, to share contact, to share know-how, and maybe to find a new job. Because now it's also experience of other people in the same situation. So probably is that the main point. That's something that I really missed.
And you were also speaking, because we prepared the interview, and you told me that you felt that the things that they proposed to you was not really relevant to you. Is it correct, or about your position, about your experience?
Yes, it was concerning the language course.
Okay.
Because we had the possibility to choose. Of course, it wasn't me that I had the possibility to choose the language school, for example. Absolutely French was important to me because it created the possibility to have this kind of network. Absolutely French is and it was very, very important to me, this experience, because it was the only way I had to face with other expatriates. In the other case, I would have been in my house in isolation and to follow probably an online language course.
And in the US, you said that companies integrate spouses both socially and professionally, making them feel like an essential part of the expatriation journey. What concrete actions should human resources take to replicate this?
It's true. American companies have a strong sense of community. This is so they tend to involve families in their activities. They create events where people can exchange their experience, and it's very cultural. So I think that it doesn't work for all countries, maybe. But the point is that they really know the importance of the community in an organization. So if the people feel that they are part of an organization, this experience it's strictly it reflects to the workers or to the family first, and then on the workers. So and another time is the only way to create a context, to exchange experience, and sometimes the only way you have to practice your language, because the problem is that the expat partner spent most of the time alone, or probably speaking their native language, or probably English if possible, because English, more or less all people speak a little bit of English, but they don't have the opportunity, like the worker, to spend the language of the country where they live, and this is really a pity.
So you are preparing to move to Copenhagen without any company support. What should human resources do to help spouses anticipate their next move?
Yes, I'm moving into a month, and at the moment, they didn't plan any support to me, and that's why when you change a country, when you move to a branch of the company, often small list, you don't have the same opportunity that you have in the place where the country where the headquarters is. So human resource, your company tend to not invest too much in this small organization, also because the smallest they are, the lower is the number of expatriates they have. So, and for example, in Denmark, we the only couple of expatriates. We have a lot of Danish. That is absolutely interesting from my point of view. But what I really need probably is to be introduced to this new culture that is quite different from France, of course, and to someone that can support me in this path.
Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Beatrice.
Thank you, Armel.
So I'm going to welcome Yulia now. So Yulia is Russian, and it's your second expatriation.
Yes.
And we are going to speak about challenges of integration without a job.
Yes.
Mm.
So,
Yes,
hello
please.
everyone. Thanks for inviting me, first of all. So yes, it's not my first experience. Just to mention that I have been living in Paris since November 2024. Actually, when employees relocate for job, their spouses face the hidden challenge of integration, and arriving without a job or a built-in social network for sure can lead to isolation, and it in turn affects the well-being of the employee. This is that you mentioned today, and actually the companies which recognize this and make proactive steps to support spouses, they gain a competitive edge in attracting and retaining the employees and talents, actually. So I think that the companies should remember about this, because after all, the well-integrated family can lead to a more engaged and productive employee. This is for sure.
Yes, for sure.
And in my case, I just would like to say that actually companies can do a lot of things, small, big things, in order to prevent the spouses from feeling isolated. And for example, for me, there are three most important things. First, it's offer career programs just to support the spouses with the job search, to organize, for example, meetings with local businesses. The second, which is very important and crucial, it's a social network for sure. And the last one, especially because we're here in France, I think very important to organize support with educational programs, especially language courses, because here, you
need it.
Yes, people, the first requirement, one of the requirements is that the candidate should speak French. So, and it's a huge challenge.
Yes.
That's why I think companies, in this case, they must support and organize these
and
courses.
maybe I will just change the order. I think it's better to start learning the language, then do the network, and then go to the job career. I think it's just
Yes.
on this way. I think it's you are the most impactful to find a job.
Yes, in general, but if I'm talking about me, because I speak French, so it's
for you it's
it's easier. And I would like to add maybe upcoming programs, up skills. Programs for development, to develop skills and education.
Yes. What kind of social or professional initiative from your partner's company would have helped you?
I should say that first of all, I would like to express many thanks to the company, my husband, because when I was in Dubai for my first relocation, they allocated some budget, and I used this budget, this money for education. So it was precious for me. But one point is negative. That's the company, they promised to support and help with the job search. But unfortunately, they didn't provide any support. And I would say that if they had helped me with a job search, so my integration for sure would have been smoother and easier.
Okay, so it's a very important point for you.
Yes, for me.
Yes, for many expat spouses, in fact. So, if human resources professionals could implement only one change to better support spouses, what would it be for you?
So it's a dream. It's a dream because I would say structured spouse relocation program. But it's it's a dream.
Okay. Can you give me an example? What do you want inside?
Combine which combines career support, social network, and community engagement. So I think it's complex, and so far I'm not sure that it exists today, but it's something that companies should develop.
Thank you, Julia. Okay, thank you, Julia.
Thank you very much
for your testimony, and we are going to welcome Diana. So Diana is from Venezuela.
Yes.
It's your second expatriation. You have lived in Mexico before. So could you introduce yourself,
Yes.
please?
I'm Diana. This is my second expatriation. Actually, I was in Colombia before. I came here because my husband got a job opportunity, and we moved to France January last year. We came here without kids, and I didn't know anything about the language, no French. I could move with my job, so that was a good thing. So yeah, well, thank you so much, Armel, for inviting me to this talk.
Yeah, so you came with your job.
Yes.
So when you arrive, you continue working. Yes, correct.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and how was it for you?
I mean, it was good. It was good the fact that I could keep my job, but I work remote, so I don't have an office to go or a network of new colleagues to meet. So I could feel a little bit isolated because, of course, when my husband is having this new job opportunity, he has a new role to play, so he will be probably like super involved in this new job. But on my side, everything was the same, let's say, at career level. And it was, not knowing French, it was kind of hard to go out and meet new people, despite me being I started absolutely French as soon as I arrived. But thinking what could change, I think maybe having these classes, like a preparation before coming to the country, that could be beneficial to at least think that you know something and you're not starting from zero. I think that could help.
Yes, and yeah, I think you were. Yeah, how could human resources better inform spouses about career opportunities? Yes, I think it's because you came with your job. But do you think they could explain you more about the job market here before coming?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think having a preparation before and this includes the language, the market. Right now I'm having like a coaching session as part of the benefits that I'm having with the company of my husband's company. But it will be ideal to have that before, for us to start working in your CV if it's not the case that you cannot bring your job, and feel more prepared. So because those things take time, like you don't do that immediately. And I think feeling prepared for the new life, I think it could be a good way to start.
Yes, I'm completely agree with that. So it's why we did absolutely ahead. I think we need something.
Actually, I was listening at your new thing, and that makes total sense because it makes the difference.
So freelancing gave you flexibility, but isolation. So as you said, how could companies support remote working expat partners?
I think they could make like activities so we can connect with other partners. I don't know, maybe activities that includes the partners. I think it's a great way to make those connections, because they give you benefits, and you see the results of those benefits, but maybe later in the process, but not as soon as you arrive. And there are many people that are going through the same thing as you are, probably at the same time, and you can make like an instant click with that person and not wait until 7 months or 6 months after to just meet new people. I don't know, like they can create like a social network just for expats for
in the company. Yeah,
that
of
could
course,
be like
of
an
course.
idea of,
And
you can see their profile, okay, kids, no kids, where they came from, how many expatriations. That could be an interesting idea.
Yes, very good. And you were also speaking about the relation with the company, but usually there is no contact with direct contact with the company, but it's more through your husband that you get the information. And what do you think about that?
They could connect with you as well, include you as part of the conversations, and not only speaking with your partner, so you can feel more involved and part of the process. I think that's something that can definitely improve.
Yes, I agree with that too. I think it's important to feel that you are part of the process, not only the other partner. Something to add?
No, like I said, the benefits we get are like really good. I think my time in Absolutely French, I'm still here. It's been a year since I arrived, and I still have this connection, these opportunities, and that you can see that the results are definitely good. But it's key that the first impression and the first 3 months of your opportunity, of your experience, you feel like you belong to this new life, and I think there is where you can make improvements.
Yes. Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
So I welcome Sarah. And of course, if you have questions for one of them after, you will have the time to ask the question. So Sarah is Sarah is an expat mother, and she arrives a year ago.
Almost.
Okay.
Yes.
Could you introduce yourself, Sarah?
So I came from the UK almost a year ago for my husband's expatriation with 2 children, a 5-year-old and 4-year-old then, and a 2-year-old. So some different challenges to my friends here. It's been interesting.
Yes. So what was the biggest challenge of moving abroad with 2 young children?
I think for me, it's what you don't know has been the problem. Before the expatriation, you are only worried about the big things: where you're going to live, where children may go to school, maybe a bit about the language and where your furniture is at any one point. And then you arrive and you don't know anybody, you don't know how anything works, and all these things start unraveling, and the unknown then starts becoming the known step by step. An example for me would be many things we we assumed. I can say we assumed. We didn't know it. So, for example, in France, children go to school 4 days a week. In the UK, they go 5 days a week. I didn't know that they only went 4 days a week. So that's an extra thing to consider, that the additional cost of childcare on the one day they don't go, and the cost to the parent who then can't go to work on that day. If you've got young children, you can't work around them. So yeah, once you start looking into all of that, there's a as well. The schools required paying by cheque, so we don't just set up a bank account and then we had to go and ask for cheques to pay the school, and then the school needed a certificate of life in the community for the child. Yeah. So then I had to go and find a paediatrician to get that. But then at the paediatrician, I then found out that there's a different vaccination schedule for young children here. So one thing led to another, and we've got there eventually. It was a lot of assumptions on our part and a lot of assumptions on the part of the company, maybe, that they didn't feel they had to tell us. So that piece of communication was missed, and we could have dealt with that beforehand, I think.
So how could they help you?
I think a lot of things my friends here have already said, things like putting together a community, giving you the information you need. For example, I have found a Facebook group, English-speaking mums in Paris, for example, and they've been very useful because these people have already been living here for some time and have children and speak my language. So it's been very useful in those points. But of course, each time you have to go and get it. Nobody's giving it to you. So you might miss something. So, and again, the Absolutely French system has been great to have a lot of those questions answered for me from my peers and my native tutors. But yeah, I think.
But you need it before, in fact.
Yes,
in fact,
yes, and of course, the other thing, talking about childcare, is that I couldn't start the Absolutely French course until I had childcare for the children.
Yeah. And you needed the information before.
Yeah.
So but I think it's a very interesting point, even for us, for Absolutely French, because it gives me a lot of ideas to help you before. Do you feel like part of your partner's expatriation project? How do you feel?
Yes, I mean, I do now.
Yeah.
Now I've been here a year, and it's taken me that long to really feel integrated and part of it. I think companies need to not only support families financially, but practically as well. So we arrived in April. There was one term of school left, and then a very long, for us as English people, very long summer holiday, where anybody I might have made a connection with in that last term then left Paris, expats maybe going back to their home countries. And I did feel a little isolated with my children. My husband had his new job, his friends from work that he'd now made, and I didn't really have anybody. But once the children started school and you're meeting the other parents and you start feeling a bit more part of something, Absolutely French as well, it's been a great networking opportunity for me. So yeah, I do now, but I think there was quite a lot of isolation at first. Yeah.
So the last question before you can ask your own question: what could human resources do to better include spouses in corporate mobility policies?
I think some of the things ideas I'd had, my friends here had the same ideas. So setting up groups of other expats and expat spouses in a group to let you know who else is in your position, so you can reach out to them.
And maybe when you just arrive, to save time. Or
I mean, for me, just a point of contact for me as the expat spouse to go to with those questions, and for them to maybe just provide me the details about the processes and the systems in this country. I think that would have been
like
helpful.
a buddy or something like this.
A buddy would have been great, or yeah, just some more information, because I didn't know it, and
Of course.
and now I do know it, and it's great.
So
But I'm
you
sure
will
there's
you
going
will
to
be a very good buddy for the next one.
well, I'm sure there's lots of things I still don't know, but I don't know what they are.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, thank you, Sarah. So I invite all of you to come and to because we are going to have a question from the people on LinkedIn. So so there are already some questions. Alors, quite thank you for all your kind words. So I'm going to check. Have your aspirations and priorities changed since moving abroad? How has the expat life influenced your perspectives? I think it's a good question.
It certainly changed mine. I left a position, a finance position. I'd been in that sector for 20 odd years,
Yeah.
Progressing in my career, and I left it to be a full-time mum. And now my children are at school, and we've integrated a little now, and now I feel I need to do something else. My language skills aren't quite at that level yet to go into a corporate job here, so I'm now looking at other options, and that's another thing that companies could do to help. You know, I think somebody else talked about freelancing since they've moved here as well, to be able to give us the knowledge we need to be able to set ourselves up as self-employed within the tax system or anything else that we might need to be self-employed.
This is very important.
And just would like to add that the first simple thing that they can do is organize meetings. Companies, they can organize meetings with the spouses to collect the feedback, to share information, and then analyze and to
really
create
good.
a plan how to improve. And I think it's a small step, but very, very crucial, and it will help for sure.
And very interesting for the company, of course, to have the feedback, your feedbacks also.
Yeah, like a check-in session. They can, how are you? How things are going?
Yeah.
Because not everybody wants to be set up with a job in corporate in the country that you're in. There could be a number of different different roles.
Yeah.
Another question from Mirella. How do you stay connected to your home country? So it's more for Sarah, I see. With kids, while embracing the French lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean it's difficult. Luckily, I'm from the UK, so it's just a short train ride away. Should we want to go home, it's not the end of the world. It's not as far as some of the others. As it happens, in the past year, we've only been home once. My children speak to people on WhatsApp videos, FaceTime all the time. That's really important. And just encouraging them with their new friends here and the new things and activities that are here for them. And family are coming over quite a lot. So I think they've handled it really well, my children. But I don't know how the others feel about going home to places that are much further away.
Yeah.
It's true, especially for me.
For you, I think
I mean, there is no direct flight, so I all the time communicate with my family. I have a big family, 3 sisters, so just it's important, and yes, it's at the same time it's complicated so far.
So there is a question for Beatrice. If you had known certain things before moving abroad, what would have changed in your expatriation experience?
Not much, actually. I would have been more prepared, maybe, from the language point of view, for example, or as I work as a freelance from the taxes point of view, for example, or yes, just more prepared, because you at the beginning of your expatriation you lose a lot of time just to understand how to do things, to experiment how to do things, and if you're able to invite you to how to say to so if you can skip this passage, you earn a lot in your life and your work.
You will be more positive than feeling
More
like
positive,
a struggle of
and you feel
trying to find
less
more.
frustrated.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
So there is one word for Diana, but there is no question. So all the best to you, Diana. You are a model of success at Absolutely French. So it's from Juliana.
Thank you, Juliana.
And Julia, I have a question for you. What skills or experiences have you developed thanks to expatriation that you might not have gained otherwise?
Great question.
Mm.
I would say adaptability, resilience, and maybe cross-cultural communication skills.
Yes.
So it's very important because I spent 1 year in Dubai. It's another culture at all. So it's a very interesting experience.
Yes. I think I take the last question. Diana, how did you overcome moments of loneliness and doubt? How did you overcome moments of loneliness and doubt?
Well, I was talking about that with my husband because at the end we are not entirely alone. We are, let's say, in our comfort zone with our husbands, and if we have kids, with our kids. But when it comes to socialize, that's when the challenge happens. In my case, let's say I have a husband and also a best friend, so he became my best friend in all these years. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of luck and effort to go out and go to these classes and try to talk, and even if you know that those people won't be your best friend in the future, to enjoy their company and to also feel that that's part of your socialization, that's like your new reality. So yeah, that's what I did. I used to enjoy a lot coming to Absolutely French, even if I couldn't speak because I didn't know any French. But it was the time where I was feeling, that I had some socialization.
Yeah, but now you speak very well.
Yes,
You made big progress, so it's good.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I think it was the last question. So thank you very much, of all of you. Thank you to be there today for this International Women's Day. I was happy to have 4 incredible women. Thank you, and see you for the next talk. So the next talk, sorry, I need to speak to you about that. It's on 4th April, at 1 p.m. with Alexandre Marteau. Alexandre is the global talent acquisition of Nissan in Japan, and we will speak about dual career and the difference between Western countries and Asia on this subject, because there is no dual career in Asia, in fact. So it will be a very, very interesting talk. So stay tuned and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you.